Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social Series 2, episode 39. There's absolutely no way I was ever going to butcher that one because it's never happened before. I'm here with the boys, Maz and Ben, and obviously myself, Ryan. Boys, it was a strange away day, but how are we all feeling?
Yeah,
lackluster.
Well,
Brad, Maz, you take it in.
Oh yeah, well no, I thought he was asking about how are we feeling in general, Ben. I thought I'd give a little life update.
Well, yeah, you've been away, mate. Let's catch up about you.
Oh yeah, no, I have been away. I've been very lucky to go to all the boxing in America.
Been around the world now, yeah.
Mr. Worldwide, no pitbull. And went to the boxing. Taylor Serrano first of all, New York, which was incredible. Like the atmosphere was just mad. And then Canelo Bivol, which was obviously the big upset in the boxing world. So that was a joy. And then I'm in sunny Huddersfield right now to cover the playoff semi-finals between Huddersfield
the
and
difference
Luton.
right there.
So,
We've gone from lovely America over to Huddersfield Luton. It's just it's really not a seller, is it?
So, but I am looking forward to that. It should be good. So I mean, playoff semi-finals to go to Wembley. The atmosphere should be good. So yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, back to Brighton. I thought it wasn't, at the end of the day, it was frustrating, I thought, because the way we pretty much, I'd say we controlled the game most parts, and then to concede last minute was very frustrating. And most annoyingly, Josh Akers hasn't stopped going on about Gelhardt's skill. So, that's
mate,
really
he was shit the whole game, and then he done one moment where he looked like Lionel Messi.
I know, he's absolutely sat down. But I'm sure we'll get onto that. But anyway, that's me. So, you boys.
For me, like that first half was really good, I think. Maybe Leeds were shit, but we were also really good. And then it was just the second half, we were just so bad in the second half. And then to top it off, Potter made in my opinion, shit substitution, taking off Caicedo and bringing on Lallana. Don't know what he's thinking when we were trying to ride out the game and maybe hold on to a 1-0. I don't know why he brought Lallana on, maybe just to get the tweet saying that he's got 250 career league appearances or whatever. Maybe that was the reason. But it was a very weird substitution. You could have just stuck with that for the end, I think. But he's made the substitution and we were made to pay, unfortunately.
I don't really have too many opinions. I was trying to say this off air. I don't really have too many opinions. I'm not salty the fact we drew because I think it was probably a fair result on the basis of the amount of chances Leeds had. We had a few good chances first half. I think Welbeck could have easily had 2 or 3. But I don't know. We didn't really feel like we had the intensity. It felt like a bit of an end of the season game, I think. It was that classic. No one really wants to get injured.
The Wigs are out, weren't they?
We didn't... Yeah, well, to be honest, around B, there wasn't too many wigs. But yeah, second half, we just seemed to take our foot off the gas, which is so uncharacteristic of us and Graham Potter as well. For us to sort of sharp and just sort of hold out a 1-0, it was very unusual. And I think if it wasn't for Leeds scoring in the 92nd minute, I probably would have been coming on here saying it was a very professional performance. It was just, quite very well done. It probably wasn't beautiful on the eye, but then when you concede in the way we did, which is probably, I think, coming. I don't know about you guys, but it sort of felt like Leeds, the amount of chances they were sort of getting, the atmosphere was unbelievable in Ellen Road, to be fair. I can't take it away from him. It was absolutely rocking. And I've got to be honest, it is probably the best atmosphere ground I've ever been to, Ellen Road, so I'll give them credit for that. But no, I don't know. It just didn't seem like we had the intensity or really want to beat them. I don't know what you guys think.
Second half, I think they probably deserved to draw overall, just because they were knocking on the door for a while. Sanchez kept us in the game. He made 4 really, really good saves. I think there were probably 2 that stood out a lot.
Good point.
He made 4 saves that kept us in the game. Credit to Sanchez. Otherwise, that could have easily been a loss in that second half. I think probably a draw is a fair result. We really, really, really got lucky at the very beginning when Sanchez fumbled that corner. And then think the Gelhardt had that shot, and then he blasted it straight at Cooper. Yeah, Cooper basically saved it off the line for us. That was so lucky. Because if they got that early goal, that would have been. I think it would have been a tough afternoon after that.
Yeah, it would have raised the roof in there as well. To be fair, when they were doing march on together and stuff, I was a bit fair play. everything I've sort of taken the mick out of Leeds and everything is saying where's your famous atmosphere and whatever. A lot of that chanting, but I think it's credit where it's due. Yesterday, I was a bit I've not been to Ellen Road before, and a 92nd minute, equaliser to potentially keep them up. I can see where the celebrations come from. But I want to talk a little bit about Danny Welbeck, because obviously you mentioned him. He had a lot of good chances. We also finished his first chance very, very well. So we'll talk about the goal first. Obviously, it's a great goal. The run from Basuma, he obviously intercepted, or I think he actually put in a challenge. Fed through Welbeck, he bodied his man, and what a chip as well. To have that composure. It was like Bobby Zamora's goal at Leeds, literally like a few years ago. It was like almost identical to that goal. But yeah, Welbeck, it was a weird one because I thought he had a great game, but he missed a lot of chances. And I think if that was Maupay, for example, who missed that header in the last minute, you wouldn't be hearing the end of it. But because it's Welbeck, you're looking at the goal. I don't know what you guys think.
That's a fair point. I think he's got less of a reputation, innit, of missing sitters. But yeah, you're right. Like I think in the first half he had that one where he brought it down and he tried to like finesse it in the bottom corner, but just didn't really work at all. Obviously the goal was really, really good, and maybe because he's in form, we kind of say it gave him the benefit of the doubt because he had already scored in the game. If he had missed those two sitters, like let's say if he was 1-on-1 and he missed that one where he chipped it over Melia and then missed the header as well, you probably would have seen a few fans get on his back. But yeah, you're right. You do make a good point. I can imagine a lot of people would have been on Maupay's back if he missed that header.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he covered his arse Welbeck by actually getting a goal in that game.
I think Welbeck's good enough to start for a Europa side. I just think his injuries haven't helped him. I think that his misses are there, but again, you could probably get up any stat of any decent striker in this league, and they would have missed a lot of chances, including probably the biggest strikers in the world have missed a lot of chances. So. I don't know, it sort of goes both ways. I think it's another situation like it was last season where we've got Maupay and Welbeck. Last season it was Maupay missing the chances but being the only one to score them. Whereas this time we've got Welbeck, Trossard's chipped in a fair bit, but we still probably don't have that lethal edge from midfield still. Mwepu sort of changed it. Caicedo got his first goal against United. We'll go on to why I don't get why we took him off. But again, it's one of them situations where if Welbeck didn't score yesterday, we probably wouldn't have scored elsewhere on the pitch, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, definitely not. No, that's true. Yeah, I think you do make a good point, and it's whether again we talk about it. Is Undav going to be that guy that starts? Because Maupay again not getting in, he's only going to be more frustrated.
And apparently he walked off. He was like probably in a wind-up yesterday.
Oh yeah, in front of the camera, like doing that to Vincent Company.
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah. Love that.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Undav. Yeah. We're talking about Undav. Is him shushing the Vincent Company, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Should we just move on then? Should we just talk about?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, so what are we up to? So we've done the goal. We've done Basuma's ball. We talked about Welbeck.
Solly March's chance, mate. Let's just talk about that because that is
Solly March's chance.
A golden chance, a great ball from Trossard over the top, and Solly drags it wide.
I've seen he's been getting a lot of stick. He's been getting a lot of stick on socials, March, which I don't know. I think it's a bit unfair. I think, like, again, we talk about that standards. Like, is he the guy to kick us on? Probably not. Like, is he going to make us better? Probably not. But I think he's a good squad player to have, and he's a good option to have. Just in case you get injuries, just in case you get, someone that injuries mostly, but like
good utility player, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He can play multiple positions. He always puts a shift in. You can't knock him for that. He always tries his hardest. But is he technically one of the better players? No.
He's not someone you'd want to have 1-on-1 with a goalkeeper like that, unfortunately.
Yeah,
he managed to get himself in a really good position.
That chance is a good point actually, because I sort of forgot about that. But from where I was, I thought it was offside because obviously in the away end of Leeds you can't see anything anyway. But I thought it was offside, so I sort of put it down to well. But then when I watched it back on Match of the Day, I was like, oh my god, the amount of chances we actually had in that game. Yeah. I didn't even sort of take into account as to how clear cut they were until I looked back on it. And obviously the Solly March and the Welbeck chance, they were 2 goals like any other week pretty much. I mean, Solly March last season, this is what I was saying yesterday, I thought Junior Firpo, I really, really, really don't rate him. I think he's absolutely useless. And I thought if there's anyone we could really target yesterday, it was going to be him. And if Solly March had the sort of drive that he did against United, because arguably he played his best ever game for Brighton against United last week, and then we come up against Firpo, who's one of the worst left backs in the league. He has a chance there to really target him and prove again that he's got it. and he just didn't take it. And I don't know why, because I thought Leeds, like yesterday, were so poor defensively. I thought they were there for the taking the whole game. Even when they scored or whatever, even when they're having their chances, they were still shaky at the back. It's sort of like, was it Villa, I think we played at the Amex? We lost 2-0, but they were so bad. And it's kind of weird to say that we lost that game, but they were poor defensively. We didn't take the chances. Southampton as well, actually, I think it was. Southampton. And we should have smashed them. But when we were 2-0 up, we obviously bottled it and drew 2-2. It's a pretty similar situation to Leeds, really. We took the lead and seemed to just sit back and not really punish a defence, which is arguably one of the worst in the division. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Is the worst. Well, yeah, second worst, isn't it? I think they've only conceded, was it like two more than... Oh, no, they've only conceded 2 less than Norwich or something like that.
Yeah.
Again, like going back to March, though, I'm no striker, which is footballer even, which is why I'm sat in this chair right now. But if I'm Solly March, I'm blasting that, and surely it's going to go somewhere on target, more so than just dragging it like that with your... I don't know, with your foot opposite from the goal like that. I don't really know.
Tried to skew it a little bit.
If he was right-footed, then you could curl it around the goalkeeper into the bottom corner he was aiming for. But he was always going to drag with his left foot like that. So I don't really know.
That's probably March's biggest downfall as a footballer. Is he's very, very one-footed. He doesn't really have a right foot. So that's probably the one big sort of criticism in his play. I don't want to come here and be negative because I don't think we should be. But
don't get me wrong, I love Solly March, by the way. I think he is a really good player and a really good player for the squad. But yeah, he's not a striker, which he just unfortunately found himself in a really good position to put us. I think it was to put us 2 up at that point, wasn't it? Was that after
that? Put us 2-0.
That would have put the game to bed.
Which is another situation, isn't it? Because we've had multiple chances here where we could have then buried this game, and that's what basically I'm saying about this Leeds defence. I just thought it was there for the taking. But one player that really did keep us in it was Robert Sanchez. I mean, absolutely fantastic yesterday. I'll let you guys talk about Sanchez because I don't want to waffle again. But I just, after all the criticisms we've given him, whatever, I think he was absolutely superb yesterday. The saves he pulled off, especially against Rafinha's free kick, were absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go on, man.
I think he's class. It'll be interesting to see, just quickly, a bit of a side note, it'll be interesting to see if he does become Spain number 1, because obviously I think Unai Simon is the preferred choice at the moment. But then obviously they've got David De Gea, and they've got now Bobby Sanchez as a real contender for the Spain national team. So it'll be interesting.
And even Raya from Brentford, he got called up ahead of De Gea, didn't he? De Gea got dropped from the squad completely in the last international.
Wow.
Oh man,
I didn't realise that. So he really doesn't rate De Gea. I suppose he's not like the modern day goalkeeper, is he?
He's much more of a shot stopper, isn't he? Like he's unreal at shot stopping, but he's not really great with his feet. That was just an interesting side note to see where Bobby at the World Cup does he start? Because that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? To say like Brighton Hove Albion have got a Spain number 1 international, like that'd be sick to say. But like,
could you imagine that we have a starting player in the World Cup? That'd be mad. I'm just deep in that now. So that would actually be mad. I don't think that's happened, has it?
I think it has. It has for sure.
Apart from
in the long ago. Jahanbash. Yeah, in the modern day, I think we had Balogun, or have we signed him by that point when Nigeria?
Balogun.
Maybe.
Did play? I don't recall him. Maybe we did. I thought it was.
But definitely Ali Reza, definitely for sure. Ali Reza was. Part of
Ali Reza didn't play for us when he played in the World Cup. So I'm just trying to think, because he was really hot, wasn't he? Then no, we signed him after that summer.
We signed him in the summer. I think after. You're right.
So so because I remember we signed him, I was so excited because obviously he was so big in Iran, wasn't he? He was like, oh my god, we've got Ali Reza, but then just didn't really quite come. Anyway, it was about Ali Reza. Too many chances.
Back to Bobby.
Too many chances. Bobby Sanchez kept us in the game.
And I thought he was brilliant. I thought, some key saves even, as you mentioned, especially from Rafinha twice, wasn't it?
I think the free kick one was surely the best. And then it was a Click from outside the box in the first half.
Click, sorry, Click, that's the one. Where he injured himself.
Fell into the post. Yeah.
So he was monumental for us, and I think he kept us in the game, and he was key player for us. And like defensively, I thought even for the goal, defensively, obviously I wouldn't put any blame on Sanchez. Like it was just great skill from Gelhardt. Obviously sat down dunk. Cucurella obviously didn't get involved either.
Before we get further than that, right? Talk about Gelhardt, because was it great skill? Or was it just really bad defending? Because when I watched it, I was like, what are we doing?
It
Do you
was
reckon?
really good skill.
Because I just thought it was awful from Dunk, and I never slate Dunk. But I thought I just thought that was really poor. I thought, how was he on the floor in that situation?
I thought it was poor defending in general. Like I thought we should have, like how it's gone over 3 players and strikers coming in the back post and heading
That's
that
what I
in.
mean. It's just
Like it's poor.
Yeah.
But you got to give credit where credit's due. Like Gelhardt, he did absolutely sit down Dunk.
Yeah.
Like it was just great piece of skill. And then that little lofted little chip he did over him as well.
Just to jump
sick.
over him.
Yeah, that was sick.
It was like watching. I don't want to boost his ego because I don't rate him at all. But he was turned into Lionel Messi in those 10 seconds, and it was like when Messi sat down Jerome Boateng at the Nou Camp, wasn't it? That at the time, it's just iconic.
Thank God we don't have Josh Akers on right now.
Oh,
mate.
Honestly, don't get me started, mate. He's tagged me in the video on Instagram like 2 or 3 times. But do you know what my response was?
I actually respect that, you know.
But do you know what my response is? My response is just like, oh yeah, massive 3 points for the lads. Yeah, well done. Like you didn't win, mate. All right, you didn't win. You got 1 point.
Yeah, you should be like, what a win for Leeds. What a win.
Yeah, what a win. Yeah.
What pissed me off from my Leeds mate though is he was like he sent me the video, the Gelhardt thing, and he was like he was like Dunk for England, and I was like, oh mate, literally he locked up Gelhardt the whole fucking game in one moment. He just Dunk made so many decent blocks and tackles in that game. And then moment, that's it.
And also as well, was it 94th minute or something like that? 95th
92,
minute?
I think, 92.
Oh, 92. So like it's late on in the game. Obviously our concentration's just not lasted.
Last ditch defending.
Yeah,
mate, I'm not even going to lie. As soon as they put 6 minutes up, I just thought we're going to lose. Well, not lose, but draw this game. I could just see it coming, you know. It was one of them. It was just everyone around us sort of felt it. It's just like, ugh. But what I want to talk about as well, actually, before I forget, Mark Cucurella. I know we spoke about him so many times. But my God, player of the season now. I don't think we've spoken since he's player of the season. Player of the season now, fan and players player of the season, which is
Gaffer.
Unbelievable. Gaffer.
Don't put me on the bench. I don't like speaking English. He laughs like I imagine he reminds me of like a pet.
But he did know what is this?
Yeah, what is this?
But no, he's just mate. He is so good. I mean, like, I don't want to just be really deluded. But I still can't tell you a time where Cucurella's had a bad game. He's just so consistently good. And probably a standout yesterday. I mean, we didn't really have a particularly impressive standout game yesterday, I wouldn't say. But I'd say Cucurella, if anyone, really, really stood out to me on the pitch. I sounded like, what's his name then? Jesse Marsh. He was on the field. He was really good in that game. But like, no, I just thought Cucurella, you guys talk about him. What do you think of the man who drinks Estrella boys?
I was gonna switch that, Ryan, because I've got it written down. Because since Maz has been away, we done our top 3 players of the season. Maz, we're gonna put you on the spot here, unless you read the doc. Can you give us your top 3 Brighton players of the season? So Ryan, I'll go first and say mine. I think I put Maupay 3rd, Trossard 2nd, and Cucurella 1st. And then Ryan swapped it out last minute. So Ryan, you tell Maz what you done.
Yeah, I was gutted with that, you know, because I changed. So I had Cucurella 1st. I think I had Veltman 2nd, and then I had McAllister 3rd. But then I changed it to Trossard. I left it as McAllister just because of how diverse he's sort of been in his role this season. And I changed to Trossard just because maybe a bit of recency bias. But I don't know, it's sort of a bit of a toss-up. But yeah, that was my 3. And then obviously the club announced in there that it was Cucurella, Veltman, and then McAllister, which was the exact order I initially had, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, anyway, Maz.
Well, people were surprised that Alexis got in it, weren't they? They did question that. They thought Trossard probably should have. But yeah, Maz, you give us yours, mate.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's not gonna be too dissimilar to you boys because, like, we all know that those players that you all just mentioned have been incredible. But obviously, number 1 for me, Cucurella, 15 million from Getafe. I mean, the geezer is unreal. He's so good. And one big thing for me is, like, other teams notice him as well. So, like, you know, usually a lot of Brighton players get this, you know, don't really get a mention when it comes to Player of the Year, you know, all these kind of, you know, Premier League nominations. Whereas I feel like a lot of rival fans or just general fans have actually mentioned Cucurella.
Yeah, they've taken to him, haven't they?
Yeah,
it just goes to show, like in the Seagulls Social video of his V, where it goes egg alpha, like it got like it banged to like 1.7 million views in like less than 24 hours.
Crazy.
Just shows how much other fans like him.
Yeah, so I think he's made not only us aware of how good he is, but he's made the whole Premier League aware, which obviously is a good and a bad thing. Which
dangerous game.
That means it means clubs might come after him, but hopefully we got enough to keep him. I don't think he will leave.
Well, we've already got that problem, haven't we? I mean, Chelsea. Tuchel has been a long-term admirer of him, and
Yeah.
he's come out quite vocally that Chelsea really like him. And obviously they've now got Marcos Alonso. He's probably going to not play for them next season. Ben Chilwell, they signed 50 million, didn't really happen for them. I would be worried. I don't think he will go. I think I'd be surprised to see him go in the summer. But if Chelsea come calling and they offer sort of 50, 60 million, would you say no to either of you guys?
We'll be able to. You wouldn't be able to say no.
Yeah.
You can't turn that down money as a club like us.
But
and he's linked with Spurs as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's not just Chelsea.
I think he'll, because of like how emotional he was when he scored that goal against United, obviously winning the player of the season. I think he's got a really good affinity to the club already. Like he's got that connection. So I think he'll definitely 100% give us another season at least.
Yeah, at least.
And then we'll see what happens after that. But then going on to number 2, I'd go for Lionel Trossard just because I feel like he's turned up. At
this is crazily ironic from last season. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We were slagging him off last season about how fucking inconsistent he was.
Yeah.
But like, don't get me wrong. I think he still does have his little moments where he does go missing at times. But he's been so good this season. At, like just turning up when we need him, being an influence on the game. I think that's a key thing. Like sometimes he wasn't that influence on the game where he wouldn't be the focal point in the attack or the build up, whereas he is now. And I think he's just a confidence player. Once his confidence is up, he just puts in those performances that we want and we love to see. So yeah, Lionel Trossard for me definitely number 2. And then it's a toss-up really, number 3. I do really like McAllister. And then I suppose, yeah.
See, I put the reason why I put Neil Maupay is simply just because of like the memories from this season of the late goals and that sort of stuff. That's why I don't, because the important goals he scored.
No, I think that's fair, and I think we're really quick to forget about Maupay because, like, he done so much for us at the first half of the season, and like you said, he scored these really important goals and key things, and then he felt, he dipped in form when we dipped in form, and we went that big spell. I think was it 2-3 months?
Every single Brighton player dipped in form then, didn't they?
Yeah, really? Yeah, exactly, and I think Maupay was like used as a scapegoat. He was like, oh, Maupay's shit, let's fucking forget everything he's done, kind of thing. But. Yeah, you're right, Ben. He did do a lot in the first half of the season, I suppose. Like key moments to get us some big results. However, does that warrant player of the season? Like, does that warrant the whole season? You have to look at the whole season. So, just because of purely on that factor, I'm going to go McAllister. Just based on the whole season. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
so
fair.
Same as Ryan's top 3. But yeah, that's my rationale.
I've just looked at my one from Albion Raw because during the Albion Raw podcast I was just doodling, not gonna lie, and I found.
Hopefully they don't watch this.
Sorry, sorry you guys if you are watching, but I was doodling. I do this quite a lot. All right, I'm literally got ADHD. I'm pretty sure. So Cucurella, Veltman, McAllister was my choice on that podcast. My point I was gonna make is I think it would be quite fun just because we're all on it now. Is provided we don't sign anyone, I'm sure we will. But to choose from this squad, predictions for next season's player of the season, top 3.
Yeah, I like
based on this squad, because obviously the summer could change it. Undav could come in and be a world beater. We could sign some amazing sort of centre half or whatever. But until that point, ignoring that, you can include Undav if you want to. But who would you think is the top 3 players of the season? And then we'll look back at the end of May next year. Yeah. And compare to the
last week or the week before, Ryan, we were saying that we reckon Caicedo might be in it. So I will say Caicedo. I don't know if probably can't do the order. I don't know if I'll be able to do the order straight away.
Yeah, order's tough. So I'll just say if you can get any of the top 3 in any order, that's fair.
So I'll start. So I think because Basuma's going to go, I think Caicedo is really going to step up. So I think Caicedo would be in the top 3.
Yeah.
I think Lewis Dunk will be back in the conversation.
Okay.
I don't think Undav will. It's a tough one. I'm debating putting Sanchez in there. I think if he can have a really, really good full season, I don't see why not. If he's pulling off saves like he did against Leeds consistently next year. Yeah. I might. Honestly, because I'm not banking on Undav to having a unbelievable season. I don't want to put too much pressure on the lad.
It all depends as well, Ben. Like, how do you see us finishing? Like, how do you see us doing? Because then that all depends on. So, for example, right, I'll elaborate a little bit more because I'm sort of waffling. But so, okay, let's say we're scrapping for relegation, right? You're most looking likely that the keeper and the defense is going to have to do really well to keep us up, if that makes sense. But let's say on the flip side, if we're doing really well and we're pushing for Europe, most likely the forwards and the midfield are going to be doing really well, right? So I suppose it just depends. How do you see Brighton doing next season?
I'll answer that quickly.
Go on.
So I think we will push on the performances, but I think the teams around us will improve. So maybe we won't finish in top 10 next year unless we really improve in the transfer market. But if you kind of think about it, Leicester will be a lot better next year because they won't have Europe to distract them. Villa will be because they're going to pump a shitload more money in it. If Everton stay up, they might get backed again. Lampard might get players that can make them better again.
I am worried about, and
there are going to
be stay up. They could do the same.
There are going to be 3 or 4 teams that are below us right now that could seriously improve. So I don't know. It's a good point. It's a good question you're asking, Maz. It does depend on how we do next year.
So Ben, what was your top 3 final?
It's a good point. I reckon I'll do Sanchez, Duncan, Caicedo.
Okay, Robert Sanchez. I'm just writing them down as we talk. Okay, interesting. Maz, what about you?
I'm going to go Cucurella again.
Oh yeah, have I forgotten about the people that are in it now? Sorry. What fucking idiot! Jesus Christ.
So I'm gonna go Cucurella again. Yeah, he'll stay in it. I think he'll be consistently good. Caicedo definitely. I think he's unreal. So I think definitely Caicedo.
Yeah.
And then the third one. Oof. Do you know what? I'm going to be a bit controversial here. I'm going to say that Basuma's going to stay, and then him and Caicedo are going to make this unreal partnership next season, and they're going to be the bosses of the midfield. So I'm going to go. I wouldn't
actually be as surprised as I probably would have been 6 months ago if you're saying that. To be honest.
Exactly, because I feel like he's just like, I don't know. Not only has his performances got better in the last 6 weeks, he's also looks like he's really part of the club now again. Do you know what I mean? Like, he feels like he's very loving. I even saw him at the awards night. He looked like he was laughing. He was loving it. He was getting involved. Like, he was even liking our stuff that we were posting about him. So,
he loved it.
I don't know. It's potentially Basuma. I feel like if he stays, him and Caicedo will make a really nice partnership in that centre midfield.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's fair.
Just quickly, also shout out to Lamptey as well. If he can find his injury side, hopefully he'll be back up there. So,
but that's a credit to Veltman for keeping him out the team so long, isn't it? Because
Veltman's
a bit of a 900k
I actually want to
defender.
Yeah, I want to say about Lamptey. I saw an interesting stat because I will forget it. I'm pretty sure anyway. It was the majority of his top readings. You know how he was one of the fastest players in Europe. The majority of his top readings all came before his injury. And since his injury, he hasn't actually recorded any of those or beaten any of those. And whether that's because he's lost pace because of his injury or whether it's because we've started playing a bit more sort of compact with him, we don't let him sort of explore as much as we used to.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot more advanced. It's strange, isn't it? Like yesterday at one point, he was playing striker. He was playing up front yesterday when he came in, wasn't he?
He was literally up front as he came on. So, yeah, it is a strange one. But hopefully Tyler can get back because I do love him. I wish he buried that yesterday, because that would have been topped off a great day.
Yeah.
My top 3 then. I've got Cucurella as well, same as Maz. I've got Moises Caicedo, same as both of you. And I've done an outside shot, and just to be different, really, because we can't all be the same. And I've gone in on Wepu if he can stay fit, because I just think he's really good.
Yeah, if he can stay fit, yeah.
And it's just if he can stay fit, because if not, I'd probably gamble McAllister. But I've gone with Wepu just because I think he's so much better. We're so much better with him in the team, scoring goals from midfield. He's just the boy lives and breathes goals and assists. Honestly, the Wi-Fi again. To be honest, you guys can all rinse me, even though I'm not even at home. So don't rinse me because it doesn't make any sense. I'm on 4G. Anyway, point is, I was saying about Enoch Mwepu, and I just said the boy lives and breathes goals and assists. I think we're so much better with him in the team, and that's my reason for having him in my top 3 players of the season, potentially for next season. Anyway, moving on then. So let's talk a bit about West Ham. It's going to be a weird game because West Ham are very up and down. Obviously, they got a point against Man City. You could argue they dropped 3. I don't know, because we always seem to do quite well against them. I'll ask you guys now, what are we thinking we're going to do against West Ham?
Well, Ryan, funny you should say that. We've never lost to West Ham in the Premier League. So...
Exactly.
That is.
But this is a different West Ham to the West Ham we've faced for the past 4 or 5 seasons, I think.
It
But
is.
we played them earlier.
But we got a point against them at West Ham.
Yeah. So I would argue, Ben, fuck West Ham, and we're going to get a win. No, I'm joking.
No, you can't do that.
No, I'm joking. No, so interestingly, they have got something to play for because they can beat Man United to 7th. Is it? To 7th spot.
That'd be banned.
I think so. So they've got like essentially something to play for, whereas we don't. So to speak, like we're just chilling now. Like we've got one more game left of the season. Let's be real. The likes of Dunk and probably a few of the senior players who love a bit of a night out here and there. They're probably going to be right. We're on our holidays already. Let's just like Leeds. I reckon Leeds was the last game where they thought right. Let's we can sort of try. So I don't know. Just basically
saying that though, like that as well. we are fighting for something. The Palace can still overtake us in the table. That's the one thing I'm concerned about.
But do you
and we can still drop out of the top 10, can't we?
Do you think the players care? Because the reason why I say this is because of Zaha's comments in midweek. He said, and whether he's lying or not, I don't know. But he said, "I don't care if we finish above." Yeah, I don't care if we finish above Brighton or not. So, do you think the same for the Brighton players? Do you think the Brighton players care enough right now that they finish above Palace?
I think they do. Because it's the first time they'll be able to do it for a long time. A long fucking
time.
And
also, I think that breaking this whole 50 points thing would be great. To finish the season on 51, our previous best 41, it's 10 point, better off our previous best is pretty good. And I think as well, top 10's a big attraction. I think, if you can say Brighton finished top 10, then, then we've completed that objective. We've said we've done that. And we've achieved it within the 5 years that we wanted to do it in. So I think, and you'd be happy with that. So yeah, I think there is enough motivation to want to go and do it. It's just whether the players echo it, I don't know. But I would say they probably should. Whether they will or not, I don't know.
Even Brentford are behind us by 2 points as well. I don't know who they've got last game of the season, so they can still jump us, and so can Palace. So we could still end up 12th.
Yeah, so we don't want that, really. I mean, 12th would be a failure, probably, I'd say, amongst the players. They'd probably say the same. But West Ham, I just find them a bit of a strange side. They're very up and down. 1 minute they're world beaters and they're going to get Champions League. Next minute they sort of capitulate. I'd like to hope that we can beat them, though, because, as you say, we haven't lost to them in the Premier League. We always seem to play well against them, so we seem to raise our game against them for some reason. The Amex last time at Manchester United was rocking. If we can have anything similar, obviously it will be the players doing their lap of honour as well, which would be quite good to be back at. I'm feeling confident. I think we're going to win 2-0 and really convincingly beat them.
Jesus Christ. I'm very, very on the opposite of that, mate. I do not think we will beat them. I think they'll be bang up for it. I'm guessing this will be Mark Noble's very, very last game. I know he had a really emotional send-off.
That'll be good.
He had a really emotional send-off at London Stadium yesterday. That was, I mean, fair play to him.
He should get a good reception from Brighton fans, because I say we would do quite good for
in
that.
saying that as well, if they play the sympathy, not the sympathy card, sorry, like basically if they wanted to honour Noble in the best way, they'll start him, which is advantage Brighton, because let's be real, he's not great, is he? Like, obviously he's done a lot. He's done a lot for West Ham.
It's advantage Brighton. Mazda, he's got your brain, mate.
No, he's got a point.
Your brain.
He's got a point.
It's true.
He has got a point, but it's just Twitter language, isn't it? It just makes me laugh.
But what I meant though, like if they do go down that nostalgia, ratio. No, if they go down that nostalgia route, that could be good for us. If they do start Mark Noble, obviously Declan Rice and Souček are much better than Noble. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that that could be good for us going down that route.
Imagine Caicedo Basuma versus Rice and Noble. We've got the better pair.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it'd be interesting to see. But I think, I reckon West Ham will be better. They'll be up for it. Do you know what I mean? So I think will. Is it maybe 1-0? I want to say, just because they want it more. But
and Bowen's banging form as well. But he scored 2 really good goals.
Bowen's been in form for about 2 years. He's exceptional footballer, to be fair.
What pissed me off, and we'll talk about it so much more in depth next week because it's a bit of a talking point. I mean, Potter didn't make the nominees for the manager of the season, but neither did David Moyes.
Yeah, that's
I know, Matt, you've got to go through, so we won't talk about it now, but just if West Ham fans are listening, you got robbed.
Yeah.
Moyes should definitely be there, even win it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Pep Guardiola and Klopp are in it when they're expected to do what they're doing right now. Maybe that's me. I just think it should be managers
I agree.
that have exceeded expectations rather than who've just fucking won it all the time. Like, it is a bit
I
weird.
agree.
But we'll talk about that more in depth next week. My prediction for the game, I would say 2-1 West Ham. Yeah, because I think that they
you
are.
guys are
they are very
boring.
good. No, it's not
What is
boring. Mate.
this?
It's facts. It's facts. I just think they will. Yeah, I think they've got too much for us. They'll be playing for mate. Noble's been there for so long. It's such a massive game for them, for their season, and for him specifically. Whether he comes on for the last 10 minutes and gets the applause coming on, or whether he gets taken off for when he plays 80 minutes, I don't know what way around they'll do it. But hopefully, like you said, Maz, they will do it. The latter. Well, I said that he'll be playing longer on the pitch so we can dominate the midfield somewhat. But I'm not confident that we will get a result from them, despite our recent history against them in the league.
What a Europa League final for West Ham. But yeah, anyway, I'm just joking. No, to be fair, I have a lot of respect for West Ham. I can't lie. They've done really well for what they've. The situation they're in about 3 or 4 years ago to now is just it could be further from different. So,
mate, they were so nearly out the Premier League, weren't they? At one point.
Yeah. They're gone.
But,
they had picture makers coming on this, and they're trying to attack the owners.
Yeah.
Remember? Was it 2 years ago? If that.
Mate, they sacked Moyes because he was taking them down, and then now he's taking them to Europa. It's mental. I have full respect for David Moyes. To be fair, he's some manager. But yeah, I still think we're going to win. I don't know. I have a feeling we're going to win. Whenever we play West Ham, I don't feel like we're going to lose, which is kind of weird. Maybe I'll eat my words, but we'll see.
And hopefully the atmosphere, like you said, Ryan, will carry on from the Man United atmosphere.
Yeah, I hope so. I think so. I don't see there's nothing still to be negative about at the minute. There's still no, apart from bringing Caicedo off for Lallana, there's nothing to be negative about. So I'm feeling pretty good. I still think we're going to be all right. We are a good team. We've got good players. I think we've got a better midfield than them. Their attack's a lot better than ours. Defensively, I'd say we're pretty even. So it should be a good matchup. But yeah, boys, anything else to add? I would go on further about all of the rumours and stuff, but obviously Maz, you're going to the Huddersfield game tonight, which is going to be mad.
Come on, Luton. Come on, Nathan Jones.
Yeah, come on, Nathan. I want to see a Forest Luton final, because either of those would be a good away day. Because I'd like to see Jones back, and Forest is pretty easy for me, luckily. So
I'm going to Forest
either,
as well tomorrow.
honestly.
I'm going to Forest,
Are you?
Forest,
mad! I'm going to Nottingham tomorrow.
No way.
Hey,
let's link up. We'll link up.
I'm in Nottingham tomorrow, literally. I'll meet you.
Oh, buzzing.
I actually will.
Oh, we'll come meet you. Yeah, 100%.
And Maz, if you do manage to speak to Nathan Jones tonight, just try and bring up some Brighton stuff, because I'm sure he'll love that, and tell him that he's the future Brighton manager. Although, to be fair, maybe not actually if he's trying to get a promotion with Luton, but yeah.
Yeah, and also Graham Potter's a lot better. So, anyway, boys, I think that's about it really, as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to go any further. I don't want to waste any more time unless you have anything else to say, Mesopen.
No, we're good to go, mate.
Cool. Right, thank you all for watching and listening. Oh my God, Maz, now I can finally see you, mate. As I'm about to at the outro.
Finally,
now I can
Jesus
finally
Christ.
see him. If you're listening to this, right, we've had the worst, most dodgy connection throughout this entire thing, because Maz is in Huddersfield. I'm in Midlands as well. Ben's all the way down in Shoreham. Our connection's been awful.
Your connection has been pony.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If it's a bit hit and miss, this podcast.
So when Maz has been talking, and me and Ryan are kind of looking around, not engaging with him, that's because we can't see him. It's not because we're just ignoring him.
Yeah. If the podcast's a bit hit and miss, then this is why. I don't know how this is going to come out. It could be really sketchy and it doesn't even go out, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you all for watching.
Yeah, I need to find 2 new hosts. I think I've learned that. I might recruit Jack Albion and get BHA Harvey to be the new host, boys, unfortunately.
We've got this mental delay between each other as well. So if it sounds like we're interrupting each other, we're also not doing that. We just can't hear each other. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to give it 3 seconds before I say the outro. Thank you all for watching and listening as well. If you are on YouTube, please do subscribe and drop a like. If you're listening on Spotify, keep streaming, and same on Apple Podcast. And until next time, for the final time this season,
comment below. Sorry, quickly.
Comment below. Oh my God, yeah. Comment below that Mark Cucurella is genuinely the best left back this club has ever had.
That's a bit long-winded, isn't it?
Yeah. We've spoken about Caicedo in literally every video since he started.
Caicedo affected again for 4 weeks in a row.
That's what you get for being so good.
Eats paella.
Drinks Estrella. His hair's pretty big.
Or just comment Gaffer. No, actually, everyone comment Gaffer. So E like triple Y and then Gaffer. Just comment that.
Hey, Gaffer.
Yeah, Gaffer.
Cool.
Gaffer. Cool.
Right, we'll see you after West Ham. After West Ham. And yeah, goodbye.
Peace.